Welcome to GeoLingo.Breakpoint, where we explore the forces shaping the world from the inside out. Why do the elites seem intent on destroying the world? Sometimes we ask a question that sounds absurd. A question that seems like something out of a dystopian novel or a late-night conspiracy rant in a taxi. But what if it isn't? What if the elites, those who already control nearly everything, are knowingly pushing the world toward collapse? Could a taxi driver's story reveal more than it seems? Years ago, in Lima, a taxi driver told me something I couldn't forget. His friend, a private security guard in a luxury business building, happened to overhear meetings he was never meant to witness. They didn't speak of investments or innovation. They spoke of prostitution, of trafficking networks, of laundering drug money and erasing digital traces. It sounded like a film noir script, but it wasn't. Could the world's richest elites truly be entangled in global criminal networks? It's not just possible, it's documented. In 2012, HSBC, one of the world's largest banks, was fined $1.9 billion for laundering money for the Sinaloa cartel and others. No speculation, a fact. And what happened to their top executives? Nothing. Not one of them went to prison. What happens when crime becomes legal? Criminality, once it reaches a certain scale, changes names. It's no longer called influence peddling. It becomes lobbying. It's not buying politicians. It's campaign financing. The sociologist Charles Wright Mills warned us in the 1950s. At the pinnacle of power, politics, business, and war are just faces of the same coin. That coin today isn't minted by any central bank. It's forged in networks of influence. Firms like BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, controlling over $20 trillion, decide which ideas flourish, which values are acceptable, and which agendas get global traction. Why would chaos be more appealing than order? It's a fair question. Wouldn't a peaceful, educated, productive society be better for everyone? In theory, yes. But in practice, chaos is profitable. Take 2003. After the U.S. invaded Iraq, companies like Halliburton, tied to then Vice President Dick Cheney, were granted multi-billion-dollar contracts to rebuild what they had helped destroy. War is a business. Drugs are a business. Social division is too. As Slavoj Zizek puts it, capitalism doesn't need a happy people. It needs an anxious, distracted, fragmented, and dependent consumer. What if the real issue isn't political, but spiritual? This is where things become uncomfortable. For decades, researchers have argued that some elites aren't merely driven by power or profit, but by worldview. Manly P. Hall, a renowned 20th century Freemason, wrote in The Secret Teachings of All Ages, "The true initiate yields to cosmic forces. True governance isn't enforced through laws, but through symbols and ritual. Symbols embedded in global institutions, cinema, architecture, they often stem from esoteric traditions." Historian Michael Hoffman goes further in secret societies and psychological warfare. Hidden power doesn't just seek control, it seeks corruption. Moral corruption is the most durable form of dominance. What role does Lucifer play in all this? Some Masonic texts, particularly from figures like Albert Pike, architect of the Scottish Rite, are disturbing. In an 1871 letter to revolutionary leader Giuseppe Mazzini, Pike allegedly wrote, "The true Masonic religion must be upheld by the pure doctrine of Lucifer." Does this mean all Masons worship Lucifer? No. Freemasonry is diverse. But in some higher degrees, symbols and ideas tied to Gnosticism and Luciferianism appear, often as metaphors: rebellion, enlightenment, resistance to a tyrannical god. But what if it's not just metaphor? Is the apocalypse part of the plan? Among esoteric groups, there's a recurring idea: total chaos is necessary before a new order. The phrase Ordo ob Chao, order from chaos, is the motto of the 33rd degree of the Scottish Rite. Some believe the elites don't just tolerate collapse, they desire it. Luxury bunkers exist in the US, in Switzerland, in New Zealand. Private investments in fortified shelters have soared. At the same time, global elites increasingly speak of a Great Reset, an idea promoted by the World Economic Forum. How do we recognize the pattern? This is not about shouting theories without evidence. It's about reading the signs. And the pattern is this. While you struggle to pay your bills, protect your children, and live with dignity, someone up there is playing by a different rule book. And those rules are not always human. Are you ready to see behind the veil? Ultra. Thanks for joining us on GeoLingo.Breakpoint. If this episode made you think, helped you question, or sparked a deeper curiosity, don't forget to like, subscribe, and activate the bell so you never miss a new perspective. Your time and attention mean the world to us. Until next time, stay sharp, stay awake, and stay listening.